welcome to another episode of the Hanukkah Erotica Book Club podcast. I'm Raizel, and I'm joined by Malya, my co-host and stepsister. Hi, Mal.
Hello.
What's cooking?
I don't know. Is it bad that I feel like I already have a headache and it's like the day before Yom Kippur? Because that's
Not
what
great.
I feel like. It's not. It doesn't bode well.
Shana Tova on that note.
Thank you. Shana Tova. How was your Rosh Hashanah?
It was good.
Great.
It was good. I led the family Rosh Hashanah service again.
All right. How was that? So
It
nice.
was a hit. Someone described it as a pep rally. Like 200, but they said between like 250 and 300 people were there.
Oh, wow. Did you not think it was that? Did it not feel like that many?
I don't know. It's like in a gym. It's hard to tell. It really was like a pep rally. It was awesome. But I got the best compliment.
What?
Someone asked me if I was a cantor.
Oh.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, of course.
What? I was like, what? No, not. I was so excited.
That's great.
Yeah.
I could see you being a cantor.
Thanks.
Sure.
That was pretty fun. I had a good time, and then we left the kids service and went to
Wait, did you do that 2 days in a row or that was just one day?
just day one, and
Day one.
then from there, Ben went to like regular youth program. Jonah had no interest in the babysitting for his age, so he came to the main shul, and then next day Ben went to the youth program. He came with me to the regular shul, and then Yom Kippur, kid service again.
You're doing the kid service.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you. Pillar
Now,
of the community here.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, some people may have heard Rosh Hashanah was fun. They'll be back. They're coming maybe for the first time. Yom Kippur, not as fun.
Your service will not be as fun, or the
No,
whole
the
shebang is not as fun. Right.
Both.
Well,
I'm sorry for what I did wrong.
is that what is that a sample? Is that a preview?
Doesn't it sound like I went to cantorial school?
It does. I think they should cantorial soloist Rachel Dormintz.
Yes, there's all these kids Yom Kippur songs happening.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's really like I always thought Yom Kippur for kids was kind of light. Like it
It
wasn't
is light,
such a
but it's not
downer.
as fun as I was walking down the street on Rosh Hashanah when I ran into a pig and, she said Shana Tova. Do you know that hit?
Of course.
Yeah, so come on.
What parent doesn't?
I didn't sing it because, I was trying to be respectful of our listeners. Wait, which reminds me though,
Yes.
on tonight's episode, sorry to pivot, but on tonight's episode, I wanted to make sure that we spoke about the DM from one of our fans. We talked in our last episode about how we were going to talk about it today.
Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes. So, okay. Anyway, Rosh Hashanah was great. How was yours?
Great. Yeah, same. A lot of shul. The kids were, one highlight for me was like, the kids went to kids programming, except same thing. Like Julius wasn't really into it. He was kind of like walking in and out, but the other kids pretty much stayed in there. And then after the first day, I was like to Barry, oh, how is the children's program? And she was like, it was good, but like this boy that asked me to marry him in camp was there. And I said no. So that was a little awkward. She's 7.
That's incredible.
I was like, I could see how that would be awkward.
Yeah.
So, there was like some good drama in the kids
You're like,
program.
we've read books like that.
Exactly. Didn't we have a book? There was a scene on Yom Kippur. Wasn't there like there was a book where
I
the
feel like maybe
final scene was like
Roz
a Yom
Alexander,
Kippur
maybe?
service. Maybe. I thought it might have been like Home for the Holidays.
Oh, it could have been Home for the
I don't know.
Holidays.
But I feel like we talked then about how Yom Kippur, like, while not an obvious romantic setting, could be an underutilized romantic setting.
Mm-hmm.
It's life and death.
Yes.
People are really contemplating.
Of course.
Right.
Life's biggest questions.
There you go. Including, who do you want? Who do you want to be with? Yes, yes or no. Grand gestures.
There was a grand gesture on Yom Kippur. I think you're right.
That's what I think it was. It was a Yom Kippur grand gesture. I think that a couple who we know also met at like a break fast and are married now.
Oh. That's nice. You're like feeling great from that first bite of food. Headache starting to pass.
Yeah. I don't know. I always feel I don't look my best
No,
at a Yom
my
Kippur break
worst.
fast. But, you know, that's kind of cute too.
Like very haggard
Haggard for sure.
and like wearing Crocs.
Wearing Crocs and like some weird white getup.
Wearing white on Yom Kippur definitely like started for me like on the Upper West Side. Like I feel like Hadar like that started that for me. Like I definitely like didn't know about that. And then it was just
I also feel like there's a way to wear like chic white, but then like that's not the Hadar way.
no. It's definitely not chic. It's not a white party.
It's like different shades of like white on top of each other.
Yes. It's like because you have some men like in the what's it called, a kittel?
Yeah, sure.
So there's like that just like that never looks so crisp.
No. Especially not at that. By the break fast, no one's crisp. Is not
No, but no one's
describing anyone.
but they take the kittles off for break fast.
I guess probably you're right.
If a kittel was still on for a break fast, like in a movie, I'd be the annoying person being like, plot hole. No one would wear, you know.
Right.
It's like
right.
the tallis isn't still on for that, you know.
Right. The guy has like a tefillin on his head. He's like bending down to eat a bagel.
Okay, I'm not going to say the person's name in case they don't want us to reveal them, but we got a DM from a listener.
Yes.
Okay. It's an amazing message. I'm going to read the whole thing, okay?
Great.
I've been listening to your show for a while now, and I really enjoy your content. I've been on a deep dive of Jewish romance novels since I stumbled across Matzo Ball Blues by Jennifer Wilk at Goodwill last year, and it's been fun to hear other people interested in the same niche. Shout out to Jennifer Wilk. That being, which you just did, because she wrote Home for the Holidays. Okay.
Right.
That being said, I would like to offer a bit of constructive criticism regarding the sound design of the show. I was an audio engineer for stage productions, and I find the background music with lyrics while you guys are talking to be very distracting, too long, and too loud, to the point where I sometimes have to skip forward until the track ends. I would suggest either using songs without lyrics, or if the lyrics are there for emphasis, perhaps using them as short clips between dialogue instead of under it. Thank you for your work, and I look forward to future episodes. I hope you cover Love You a Lot by Amanda Elliott someday. It's my favorite. I even got my husband to read it.
Wow.
Amazing. Because this is like what you were saying last time. This is like a real fan.
Totally. I appreciate this so much. I actually didn't think a person like this was out there. So, wow. Thank you. And we do want to read Love You a Lot. We talked about that.
Yeah, I loved that book.
Oh, you read it? Oh.
Yeah, we didn't do it on the podcast, but I read it.
Yes. But didn't she write Sadie on a Plate?
Yes, which I adored.
Yeah, that was great. So, okay, great. We'll get to that. But I mean, I don't know, you know, William obviously is the brains behind the sound design, and I know that he is heavily he responded to this you shared it with him in our text group, our Hanukkah Erotica Book Club text chain, and he said he is inspired by the Howard Stern show, of which he was a longtime listener, where the audio is loud beneath the sound, beneath the main speakers
Dialogue.
At times for comedic effect. You know, and it's like dropping funny sounds that relate to the dialogue, or playing music that's sort of like, you know, interacting with the dialogue, like the way Seltzer Emergency plays repeatedly. That's supposed to be funny. Like, it wouldn't be as funny, I think, if it was. It might be easier to hear, but it wouldn't be as funny if it was just kind of like very soft, you know, interstitial. But
is interstitial a word?
Yeah, interstitial is like something in between that connects things, right?
Okay, never heard it in my life, but okay, I'm gonna hear it again now. It's like when you learn something new.
Googling it. Interstitial, okay, so, yeah. Anyway, the point is, like, interstitial. It's funny. Anyway, but William took the criticism and appreciated it also, that somebody who knows sound design was listening and appreciating it enough to think about it. And I think he's going to incorporate the feedback. He's nodding.
He's going to incorporate the feedback. Okay.
Because we don't want to obviously we want people to hear what we're saying. We want people to hear every gem of a moment here.
Oh, definitely. I absolutely appreciate the feedback. From my perspective, I've always just been so grateful that William does the sound and producing and editing and everything for this podcast, that I've just been like, seems like he's having fun.
Totally.
Let them have fun.
I agree.
But you're all listeners of a podcast that you like, which we so deeply appreciate. Yeah, of course, we want you to enjoy the experience. And if taking on some of this feedback would help the listener experience, we will incorporate it.
Absolutely. William was already messaging me. We need to ask Daniella for a vocalless version of Seltzer Emergency.
Oh, okay.
That's a
there you
good
go.
idea.
That is a good idea. So anyway, thank you for writing to us.
Yes.
Really, and thank you for listening. Also, one thing I didn't mention about Rosh Hashanah is that there were 2 listeners and fans of our podcast at a lunch I was at
Oh,
who literally read along every book.
wow.
Read along.
We did know we've influenced book sales.
Yeah. I just, to see it in real life,
That's
was
amazing.
Really, I was moved. I played it cool, but I was moved.
Of course. You have to. That's awesome. It's people you know, though. It's friends of yours?
It's family friends of my in-laws.
Got it.
And their next book read is our next, they read what we read.
Amazing.
And a million other books because they're like really smart people and great readers.
Sure.
But yeah.
Oh, they're not exclusively reading Hanukkah Erotica Book Club.
I mean, we do read a lot.
We do. I have trouble fitting.
They've given us recommendations too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Could always use that.
In fact, one of them had already read Girls, Girls, Girls before we, had even discussed it. So
cool.
Okay, so that's some of the things I wanted to talk about. Anything else you wanted to cover before we dive in?
I just wanted to note that in Jewish podcast news, Jonah Platt is back with a new season of his podcast inspired by us.
He also has that like the spin-off, like the short podcast, which we kind of referenced at one point. That's like mensch something
30-minute
mensches.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His podcast already has a spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing it.
He is. Seems like maybe add nothing else.
I don't know how he'd have time to do anything else. He's a full-time Jew.
He is. You a Cantor? That would be a normal question because he's a musical theater guy.
He's a musician, right?
That would be
It's a normal question for you too. You have a nice voice. You can command a room. I don't know. I don't feel like every Cantor has like, I don't know, a rock star voice. It's more about like a soulfulness and a presence.
Yes,
I think. Yeah.
That was very fun. Okay. Shall we?
Let's.
I didn't get much feedback about last episode to be able to share on this one.
Yeah, neither did I really. Oh, you know what? One thing that I did. So if you remember, our friend, noted portrait artist Jonathan Blum, who painted a mural down at our farm last year and was binging the podcast while he was painting through the night, came back last weekend to do some touch-ups, sets up his paint, and immediately is like, so are there more episodes I can listen to? And I was like, yeah, it's been a year. Of course there are more episodes. He's like, let's get him on. So William cues it up, and I think he went through like 4 or 5 episodes while he was painting. He was like ready for it.
If I remember correctly, he maybe liked my voice.
Loved your voice. Mm-hmm. That was a main draw. Liked our rapport.
Great. Did he like the episodes?
So he listened to their troublesome crush. Loves Raizel's laugh, William's saying to me.
Oh, okay.
You do have a good laugh.
Thanks.
And he was saying, so I don't know. I mean, this is a hot take that I don't particularly agree with. He was saying like he didn't know how he felt about us reviewing a book where we are so not in any of the communities.
Disagree. I'm a musical theater nerd.
Good point. I guess I mean like, right. I take your point.
I'm just saying like there's not a ton of people who could just read that book and know almost every single song referenced. Oh, okay, but yes, sexually speaking.
Sexually, or just in terms of like most of the primary identities that those people had, autism, disability, other things like that. that he felt like we were sort of outsiders to it. I mean, which we discussed.
We absolutely were.
We were. We that was what we were talking about. So I disagree. Like, I think that's very limiting, that you can only review a genre if you're some way identified with the people in a particular book. I mean, we read you read books about psycho killers, I don't know.
I mean, think about, I mean, I would say that I do wonder about the sensitivity with regard to how we approach the conversation, but I don't know that we shouldn't have read it
or reviewed the book because we don't identify with those characters. Think about so many of the characters that we read. Like, think about Schmutz, like a Hasidish porn addicted person who, like, I don't know, like
Totally.
I can't.
And
There's just
actually, this leads me to another point that actually William made that I could have maybe brought up off the air, but I'll just bring it up here, is that we've been saying we review Jewish romance novels, but maybe it's more accurate that we discuss Jewish romance novels.
we discuss.
Meaning, at the very beginning, we were like trying to rate them or whatever, but we
Yes.
really veered away from that.
We're
like,
a book club. We're not reviewing. Right.
It's not to us to say, like, some amount of stars out of whatever. Like, no, we're discussing them and sharing our
Yes.
our experience. We're not
Yes.
rating.
Yes, we're not rating or reviewing.
Right. We're not reviewing. That's not
We're
for us to
discussing.
do. I think maybe if we were reviewing, if we were rating it, maybe that would be I would hear that more. But I think in terms of discussion, it's all just our thoughts.
Right.
So anyway.
Also, I'm just saying, like, even it could be that we do identify with some of the character traits in some of these books, but we wouldn't even be comfortable revealing that.
Good point also. Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm just saying, if you're listening, painter, remind me his name.
Jonathan,
just go back to the musical theater part of it.
good point.
Kinks and show tunes is
Right. You were enthused about that from the beginning.
I was. Yes. But you know what? I understand the point as it relates to how the sensitivity. I think because I hated it so much, it didn't help.
Right. I mean, and
just
that's what
think-
we talked about. That
Yes.
was the main,
Yes.
that was the content of the
Yes.
whole episode. So I don't know. There's nothing more to say.
There
It's
isn't
just,
anything more to say.
anyway. But that being said, he binged 5 episodes from like 10 to 1 a.m. So I think
Yeah.
it didn't dissuade him.
Right. Well, if you're still here, listeners,
Thank you.
yes, thank you. And tonight we discuss a book that I thought was fantastic. Cannot wait to hear what you think about it, Ma, called Girls, Girls, Girls by Shoshana von Blanckensee.
I loved it. It was great.
I loved it so much. As soon as I read it, I texted the group saying we should read this for the pod, but it's been a while, so I reread it.
Okay.
So now I've read it twice. It was even better the second time. I loved it.
It was really enjoyable. I listened to it. I didn't read it. I liked the person. I liked the narrator, and the author also read her own like prelude or whatever it was, the beginning piece where she just talks about how the degree to which it's autobiographical and things like that. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I thought so too.
And it was just really well, it was really well written. It was I was eager to get into my car and listen to it, which is not always the case.
It was, I highly recommend this book. It was so good. So if you are someone who may want to read a book before you listen to us discuss it,
this is one to
hit pause and read. Otherwise, keep going. We'll tell you all about it. But it was a great book. So this book takes place in the 90s.
Yes.
And we have 2 best friends who live in Long Beach, Long Island, which I know well.
Do you?
Yes. It's in Long Island. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I know it. And Hannah is Jewish, lives with her mom and sister, and she's very close with her Bubby.
Yes.
Bubby plays her Bubby is a very important character in this book. and it's the 90s in Long Island. She and her best friend Sam, another girl, realize that they have crushes on each other. They become a thing, but
They're in high school. They're in high school.
and they're in high school, and it's deeply secretive. And they're not so much about the high school part, because very, very early on in the book, they decide, like, we cannot live here. This will not work for us. Like, we got to get out of here. Let's drive cross country and move to San Francisco. I felt like I misunderstood. I thought it was going to be like that part was going to be more of a secret, but it was not. Like, they were out in the open about the move. Like, they weren't runaways.
Right. But they weren't out in the open about, they were
No.
like, we're two friends moving to San
They
Francisco.
were closeted, but they were,
Yes.
I thought they were like runaways in San Francisco, also because, like, part of when they get there, it almost feels that way because they just have nothing.
Yes.
But it was all out there in the open. They said their goodbyes. They got themselves ready. They bought a car. There's another best friend involved that sort of, there's a tricky situation with a friend. It was like these three
Yes.
close friends in high school. The way that she describes friendship and all relationships
Very good.
is
Very true.
The way that Hannah has a very strained relationship, not strange, strained relationship with her mom. Her mom became Orthodox when Hannah was older.
Like after it's like her dad died when she was young, it seemed like, and then the mom slowly became more Orthodox.
Yes.
On her own.
On her own. So it's like she grew up. She was born into a Reform household, and then her mom became Orthodox. But she
Right.
was already too old to start to believe in anything or feel connected.
And also she was like going to public school. Like she wasn't in a religious framework.
Right. So there's like a shul, but she wasn't connected to it. And she has a sister, Rachel, who's like, feels more aligned with her mom. She's there. It's a strange, the way that she writes relationships felt really palpable and beautiful and real.
And even the mom, like she wasn't one dimensional to me. Like I felt for her. Like she lost her husband. She's trying to raise her kid. She found like meaning in religion. I don't know. She wasn't so, I felt like she was written in a 3-dimensional way where I wasn't like, oh, this horrible mom. I was like,
Right.
this mom is trying, but like really can't relate to her daughter, and her daughter can't relate to her. And it just felt painful.
Right. For sure. It felt very painful. Her bubby, from off the bat, is just like, you love her. Her friends love her. She's, serving them pieces of honey cake and challah, and she's telling stories of her childhood, and she adores her bubby. And it's hard for her to say bye, but they go to San Francisco.
And the bubby's like all of the positive stereotypes about a Jewish bubby with none of the negative ones, I feel like.
Right.
She's
Again, like a layered character.
non-judgmental, right, exactly. Has gone through her, you learn a little bit about her history, which was very hard also, but she's
Right.
just, very supportive and just encouraging.
Yes. And also, but also like very Jewish.
Yes.
A lot of Yiddish, but also not the kind of Yiddish, like we read a book where it was like it was the baseball book where it's like the Yiddish sprinkled in, or like the way the parents or grandparents or whoever was written, like felt very like central casting to you.
Yes.
This was the opposite. Like, this is some Yiddish I didn't even know.
Yes.
Like, maybe I knew, but it was just very sincere and real feeling.
This felt much more real.
Oh,
And even just, this felt much more real, totally.
definitely.
And even just the whole thing with the mom becoming religious later, like it wasn't a stereotypical story. It felt very specific.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree. It was really great. So anyway, they go to San Francisco. San Francisco is a very expensive city. Also, like in that whole prelude that you referenced, the author shares like, these are like words that I use in this book are not words that we use anymore.
Right.
Sort of as like a content warning, but these are the words that were used in the 90s in San Francisco. And like every place I mention was in San Francisco in the 90s. Like, and so I loved that because this did the exact thing that we like when books really describe a city or a place accurately, and this really did that. And she even says, like, every single place mentioned, obviously San Francisco's different now,
Right.
Yeah,
She
but
was basically like, this is my love letter to like queer San Francisco in the 90s, which doesn't really exist anymore, but I loved it and I want to like recreate it in this book.
right. But it's so vivid.
Totally. I know nothing about San Francisco. I've been there one time, but this really, I can imagine all the things that she described.
Totally. It was so vivid. I recommended it to a few people who have lived in San Francisco. Like, you have to read this book.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
it's like
totally.
really, really great. So,
I did feel like the way, like what you mentioned, the way that about them seeming almost like runaways, like it was very extreme. Like, wouldn't any of those parents have been like, take my credit card in case you have an emergency? Like, I don't
Right.
know. Like,
They had very little, no credit card. It seemed like they had just like a
it
little
was
bit
the
of cash.
90s. It wasn't so, like, I don't know. I just feel like even if you're disapproving, which both of the parents obviously were, and it was like the other girl, Sam, her parents were divorced, and I guess a little bit like kind of neglectful of her because they were sort of doing their own thing. But I don't know, they were there. They knew their daughter that seemed a little extreme to me. Like, I felt like one or both of them would have been like, here's my credit card if you're on the street one night and like run out of food. Like, I don't know.
I know.
It felt very dramatic, but they literally were like, had a few 20s and that was it.
Yeah, they had a little bit of cash, no credit card, no phone,
Right.
no address. They did have the car, and they just went.
But even that, like, imagine if that car had broken down, like somewhere on the cross-country drive, they would have been screwed.
Right.
They didn't, that's okay. It didn't happen. I get it. It's a book. It just like that part of it felt a little, I don't know.
No, I know. I mean, I am, but I don't know. I feel like there definitely are people who like leave home with nothing and have to figure it out, and
Right.
I don't
Right, of
know.
course. Yeah, there are.
But
It's just like the parents weren't like, you're dead to me. If you're doing this, forget it. I don't want to hear from you. The mother was like, okay, I don't
call
want
me
you to
when
do
you get
this,
there.
but call me. Like, yeah, exactly. So it doesn't jive to me with like, okay, here's a 20, goodbye. I don't know.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but right. They did, and they were and they also were just like so idealistic. They were just like, we want to live openly as like,
Who we are,
lesbians,
yeah.
gay people, and so we'll go to San Francisco because that's where they do that.
Right.
And that was like, they didn't even really seem to have more of a concept of anything other than that.
Right. Exactly. Watching her go from being in Long Beach where she knows no one who's out at all to being in a city where there's queer people everywhere is so eye-opening to her. And there's like a really vivid scene in the first gay bar that they go to. There's just like in the first time that they go, and the first other lesbians they meet is out one night. They get a recommendation from someone. They go out. They have a night with this other couple, just like a friendly night.
Yeah.
And they learn that one of the two women in this other couple strips.
Right.
They're kind of shocked by that, but then they're struggling to figure out an apartment. And they're like, we're never going to find it. There's so much to it, but like, we're never going to find an apartment because we're not going to have enough money for whatever security deposit, down payment, whatever it is. Like, they have nothing to, just like you said, they don't have credit to be able to have a credit check. Like, there's nothing.
Right. Like, they so didn't think it through. Like, I don't know what it's like all did the parents tell them any of this also? Like, not even just like, don't go because it's dangerous or it's far away, but also like, this won't work. I don't know. Just like something more concrete, because it just seemed like there was no other option for
Well,
that.
the thing is, like, in the part that the author wrote was that something somewhere said like she dropped out of college and moved to San Francisco. But like in this book, no one dropped out of college to move. It seems like they just like left high school and went.
Yeah, they weren't even considering
So like
college.
maybe in the true story, she dropped out of college and went.
Oh, that's possible.
And
right.
maybe so she had a little bit of, I don't know, more life experience.
Right.
I'm not
Also,
sure.
just backing up though, also there was a scene in the beginning, like high school part, where she like impulsively like has sex with a boy, a high school boy, to like basically cover up the fact that she's gay because there were rumors about her and her friend.
Right. And this is the 90s, and she's not living in a time where like anyone is out, or that she's not comfortable with this at all based on her upbringing and just like the way society is in the 90s, just to be clear.
Right. It's like completely taboo, and she just wants to shield herself from these rumors. And like, I don't know, that scene was that was just really well done to me. Like, it really described how sort of like painful and terrible it would be to force yourself to conform in this very
Yes.
intimate way.
Yes.
It was very, that to me, like, it was very vivid and just, like, again, painful. The whole book
Yeah.
was pretty painful.
Yeah. But the way everything is written is so vivid. So yes. Anyway, TLDR, honestly, because this, but really not TLDR, just like worth reading every word.
Totally.
They find an apartment, and it's like a total shithole, but they're so happy that they found it. The landlord's like, I would never let my daughters do this. Like, I don't want you to sign a lease because I want you to be month to month, because I don't want you to live here. This
Right.
neighborhood's not safe, and you should not be here, like not walk the streets late at night. Like, it's not safe. But they're the happiest ever.
Right.
And basically they see a strip club, they decide to go in, and they end up stripping.
Yes.
It's bananas, but also like this, the way that the strip club and the experience there is written is also just like, have you ever fallen into the algorithm of like strippers getting ready for work? They're like moms.
No.
Okay.
I'm about to, though, because I
Okay.
really want to. What does that mean?
Like, so it's like there's like, obviously there's like a lot of sex workers, there's strippers who will
Right.
like get ready for, you know how like people like do their makeup
Sure,
and stuff,
sure,
and like
sure, yeah.
so there's like,
I just see like moms putting on like Old Navy blazers and like drugstore blush.
yes, so there's like a whole other TikTok, Instagram world of like strippers getting ready to go to the strip club, getting ready to dance for the night, but they're also like moms, like they're like just like trying to make a living,
Right.
doing their makeup, like showing what they do, like giving random tips, and then at the end of and then we'll show like the crazy amounts of cash they made.
Wow.
And it's like, I think just like trying to normalize is the wrong word, I think, but like sex work is work, like maybe it is normalized, just like legitimize. I don't know what the word I'm trying to think, but like it really like it's like very interesting. I haven't seen these TikToks or reels in years.
Okay,
It could be
well,
because I'm off TikTok,
right.
but like I like definitely
Can't
like,
imagine there's less of them now.
No, like I definitely remember like one or two, like they were just like these women who were doing their makeup, getting ready for work, but the work that they were getting ready for was to like work at the strip club, and then either the next video or the end of the video would just be them with just a tremendous amount of money that they earned in the night.
But the video is them giving like makeup tips?
Yeah, but like maybe also tips about getting a job, or I don't make, but like
I see. Like demystifying stripping.
yes.
I see.
But they're for women. These are videos for women. These weren't like videos
Yeah, they're not like
for
sex.
men. They weren't.
Right.
No,
I get it. It's
It
interesting.
was. They were really interesting.
This book did do a really good job of like I think
Humanizing. The word I was looking for was humanizing.
humanizing. That's right.
And the book did do that.
It did it, and it also gave you it in a very, again, like believable. It really took you through the journey of the main character. Hannah was the main character. Hannah, of Hannah starting out like, of course we can't be strippers. What are you talking about? That's insane. Like
Yeah.
the way that we intuitively reacted to being like, actually, like maybe we can be
Yeah.
strippers. Or like, actually, like we're stripping and it's like anything else. Like,
Right.
like you see her
Yes.
go through that
Yes.
whole process of
And-
like, actually, this is kind of just whatever.
And also they end up actually just like making money. Like the money part of it for them is huge, because they couldn't get a job as a barista because they don't have cafe experience.
Right.
And that was minimum wage. They were trying their hardest to get these minimum wage jobs that they
And
could
now they're
not
just
get.
rolling in
And now
cash,
right,
yeah.
and now they could do 2 to 3 nights a week,
Right.
and they're just leaving with so much money, and they're like getting takeout because it's extreme. They were basically living in a van, driving to San Francisco, not able to get a roof over their head.
Right. And now they have all this disposable cash. Also, this strip club sounds like the place they're working. It seems like a more, I guess,
Shea
because
Perry.
it's San Fran. It's like, yeah, it feels a little more bohemian. Like it's not a like
Oh, seedy. I'm
glitz
picturing
and
seedy.
seedy, and therefore like it's not like of the Five Diamond Club or I don't know whatever. I don't know
So
whatever the like.
what are you picturing? Are you picturing?
I'm imagining like a more of a high, I don't know. I've never been to a strip club. Don't know anything about them. No real world experience whatsoever. It's all from the movies and whatever
Yes.
media. But I imagine that there are like higher end strip clubs where like, I don't know, vanilla businessmen go after work or where like finance bros are going.
Yes.
And the women there are all very like white, thin, breast implants, like I don't know, very like you know,
Yes.
like average standard of beauty, like American standard of beauty, all kind of looking very similar. This did not seem like that. It was like of a lot of different types of
Yes.
people, different races, different bodies, different stories.
'Cause
And
the-
they were
right.
all just like, and there was like a mama like type that was running the place who was just like, yeah, pay me X amount of money, you can strip and you get to keep whatever else you earn. And it just seemed very like, again, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, like alternative, bohemian.
I don't know.
Not
San
not
Francisco.
what I would imagine in like a typical like New York City strip club.
Okay, I've been to one once. It was diverse, but like I will say this, like the idea that just like two random 18-year-olds could walk into a strip club, do a little dance as an audition.
That is what they did.
And get the job. I was thinking if it was us. Like if it was us. We met when we were like 22. So and also
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we were babies. So okay, let's say it was
Right.
22-year-old us
Right.
walk into a strip club.
I'm imagining the like the Counting Crows karaoke
Yeah.
we did it,
Karaoke.
but then it turns into a
Naked. Wait, by the way, us doing naked karaoke is a genius
genius what?
routine.
Oh, okay.
That's like a great
that would be our shtick.
yeah.
Right. Okay. You have been called to canter, so that's not so
Right.
far afield.
Right. No, but basically like the idea that they had no dance background and
Right.
like I could never
No, that wouldn't.
audition,
No.
do it. I could never.
Right.
And so
But if you were desperate,
Right.
Rachel, and you knew it was like do this or like be in that van eating nothing,
Right.
maybe you could.
right. Right. And also
I'm
like
just saying,
in a way
I think maybe I could if I was desperate. I just don't think I would have been hired.
Right. Here's the thing, but what happens is like it actually like ends up like feeling not unsafe to them. It ends up feeling like a safe place to work because
Right.
of course there's things that happen that they don't love, but like the other girls are their friends. Like some of the other girls are queer. Like the other girls, they have
Right.
tips of like go to that guy because like he's a nice normal guy and he just wants a $20 lap dance and he doesn't touch you and they're like giving each other tips and
Right.
like they pick up pretty quickly and like they also the way that they handle the strip club is like there's like a whole wall of people who aren't allowed, like they're 86th and they're not allowed to come back,
Right.
so like really like there is a wall of creepos who aren't allowed to come back, but they don't feel unsafe. There's a bounce, there's like protocol around what they're doing and what's allowed and what's not allowed. And so
Right.
they feel camaraderie with all of the other strippers
Right.
and this is their work.
Right.
And also like their feet are sore, but then at one point they're like, our feet would be sore if we worked at the cafe also, but we wouldn't be able to take the next 2 days off.
Right. And similar thing, like when, Hannah's talking about some girl who like a guy touched her in a way that like a guy sexually assaulted her basically at the strip club. And Hannah's like, and then Sam is like, yeah, but like your professor could do that to you in college too. And like,
Right. None
and
of
you
it's
wouldn't-
good.
none of it's good, but I guess her perspective is more like being a woman, there's a risk anywhere.
Right.
That's her
Right.
attitude. And so
Right.
this is just a way to, you know,
This was a way for them to work and make money and be able to be in San Francisco.
right.
But like the way that she writes about it, it's like this really was a product of being really being desperate, having nothing, and it being an extremely expensive city. It was like the perfect storm almost for this to work for them.
Totally.
She ends up sort of having a side sex work situation with one of the patrons of the strip club,
Yes.
which is its own sadness.
Yes. That was dark also.
Yeah, because that's a whole other storyline. But there's one while they're there the whole time, she's like avoiding her family except her bubby.
Right. The bubby's the only one she wants to talk to because she doesn't give her a guilt trip.
Right. They also start to develop, like, I would say, a found family. And
Yes.
the way that they describe that is also like really beautiful. It's like her found family in San Francisco, because she ends up pivoting. There's like scaffolding put outside of their building and all these girls like painting the building, the outside
Yes.
of the building.
Yes.
And she kind of has a crush on one off the bat. Like she sees someone really attractive, a girl who looks like River Phoenix. And they start talking, and she asks about how she learned to paint. And basically she starts working for this company.
Right.
But it's like an entirely queer run company of all these girls basically like doing construction work.
Right.
Like wearing respirator masks and like doing construction work. Not construction. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Doing
Construction.
contractor work.
Yeah, contractor work.
Yeah.
And like, I love that. Like the way that she describes them.
Yeah, it was
And
so
like
cool.
they're dynamic, and like they go out to the bar and they're like doing all this like manual labor, and she's making a lot less money at that point.
Right. I guess it's really clear how it's like, I guess it was like what was painted so also like they were so alone. She was so alone. She felt so alienated because she couldn't be her real self at home, not just with her parents, but with her mom and family, like with anybody. So she was it was like anyone with whom she could be real. She felt this like sense of intimacy that she had never had before.
Right. Right.
And it was like, that's what they were really looking for.
Right. It's like they really did find what they were looking for by moving there.
Yes. And it developed very quickly, I think, because they were also kind of starved for that.
Right. So there was a similar, like, they were all different people approaching the situation with like a similar need for community, friendship, relationship, romance, sex, but also just like friendship, kinship, family. It was like their found family.
Yeah, like support, a system, like a system of support. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, it was painted really beautifully, I thought. Those relationships.
Yeah, and it was really cool how it was like they sort of were like following these breadcrumbs, like finding flyers for queer like clubs and meetups, and like then they would meet people there and they would tell them about other things. It was like they really kind of like, I don't know, followed a little like queer scavenger hunt around.
No, totally. Especially, and that's why it's like she does a very good job of painting this picture of of the 90s.
Yes,
even
there's
like
no internet.
Right, and also this like you have to wait at home to listen to messages. So
Right.
like she'd hear an answering machine message, and then she's like, I didn't even want to leave my house again because I'm gonna miss their next call. Like,
Right,
you know, because
right,
like
right.
you're like checking the machine,
Yeah.
and then going about your life, and then checking the machine again, and
Right. It's like a very different pace of things.
totally.
And even the stopping at payphones to call her family, getting a landline installed in their apartment was like a big deal. Like that
Right.
they had money for that. Like all those things were,
Right.
you know. But because she's such a good writer, it all fell into place for me. Like I didn't question any of that.
No,
like
me
I was in that time.
100%. It was, I agree. It was such a good, I loved reading it. I read the hardcover that I took out from the library. I read it so quickly. I couldn't put it down. I just couldn't, I loved it. And then the second time around for the podcast, I listened. Same
I thought
thing.
the narrator was really good.
Great.
Yeah.
It was a really, really good book. Her bubby's extremely lovable. Her mom's relationship to Judaism was such a turnoff to her.
Right.
She even finds, like, she sees a sign for a queer shul in San Francisco right off the bat, and she's like, oh my God. Like, it's like this idea. It's like funny because we kind of talked about it last week, like how like maybe like depending on the Jewish upbringing somebody has might change the way that they feel about their sexuality. So it's like, of course, like if someone grew up in like the queer shul, they're going to feel accepted. They're not going to have an association with Judaism, like that Judaism wouldn't accept that, right? Or like,
Sure,
you know,
right.
so that's why I was saying, like, I don't know what San West grew up in, you know, but it got me thinking about that. But then there's like
Right.
this queer shul in San Francisco, and but she doesn't go. Like she adores her bubby, but there's not she like Judaism is not what her mom wants it to be for her, and she doesn't want to make it what she wants it to be for her. Like that part of her life is not, she doesn't relate to it. She's not looking for it. Like, you know, I don't want to
Yeah,
spoil
no, I
too
think
much.
it's like her mom was oppressive and Judaism was oppressive. I think she
Right.
saw it as oppressive.
Right.
It was like also like Yenta's breathing down her back. It was a lot in the beginning was about like being concerned about people seeing her. Like, you know, she and Sam would have these little like stolen moments. And then she'd be like, this is the street with like Moishi's Deli on. Like it was very
Right.
like people watching and judging her. That's how
Right.
she saw it. So
Right.
she didn't want to bring any of that into her new life and identity.
Right. Right. And there's other people she meets that were like formerly religious, but other religions. So, like she does relate to that, but she doesn't relate. The Judaism part is not appealing to her in any way, even though she adores her bubby. Her bubby comes to San Francisco to visit, which I thought was very beautiful.
Yes.
And they really are in touch this whole time that she leaves. And she's avoiding her mom and her sister, like really avoiding.
Right.
But she's in touch with her bubby. Her bubby comes for a visit, and they stay in a hotel, and it's like this whole thing. And her bubby asks about where they're going to have Shabbos dinner,
Right.
and she kind of forgot that it was going to be a Friday anyway. She just kind of forgot about Shabbos dinner.
Right.
She's like, oh well, we're going to a restaurant tomorrow. And her bubby's so cool about like, is it the kind of restaurant that would have candles on the table and wine, because we could just bring a challah and we can make Shabbos right there, and they have this like Shabbos in a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And that's interesting because the bubby is like, it wasn't religious like
Right.
the mom, I guess. It doesn't really get into it so explicitly, but
Right.
it seems like the mom really became much more observant on her own. Didn't grow up that way. The bubby's a much more sort of positive example of someone who,
Yes, she says there's a million and one ways to be Jewish.
right, you know, for that, her Judaism made her like open and accepting and loving, and she has things that are important to
And
her, but
strong.
yes.
And
But it
strong
doesn't-
and brave and, yes, expansive.
Yes, exactly. But it doesn't seem like the main character really connected those character traits with Judaism.
Right. Right.
I mean, I do, and I think with that scene maybe tries to, but she didn't really latch on to that.
It was too much for her, like made her life worse. So
Right.
she wasn't looking for it to make her life better. She just
Right.
wanted to make her life better without it.
Yes. And she loves her bubby because she's her bubby, not because she
Right.
she doesn't, right, the Jewish
Except,
elements aren't.
Except like, you know, there's like a lot of brisket, by the way, in this book. A lot of brisket.
Oh my God,
Shout out to
yes.
Bobby. A lot of brisket in this book. And there's apricot glazed chicken, which I call Passover chicken, which my mom, you know, makes a lot for Shabbat. But people used to call it Upper West Side chicken. You know, the Upper West Side
course.
chicken with
Yeah,
the
of course,
apricot
of
jelly
course.
and the onion soup mix and, you know, the dressing.
Love it.
That chicken's delicious. Anyway, there's a scene where she's eating apricot glazed chicken in the book.
I don't
brisket.
remember that.
And
That's so
there's
funny.
definitely like, there's the Jewish food. Yeah, I guess she doesn't even have necessarily a positive association with it. It's just there.
I think she did, you know, like her bubby would make a lot of like baked good, like Jewish kind of Eastern European baked goods and always serve them to her and her friends.
Her
and
friends
I think that
loved them.
the friends loved them. I don't know, that part didn't speak
Yeah.
to her. I don't think
Yeah,
she
yes.
cared about that stuff so
Yes.
much. She never
Yes.
talked about missing her bubby's like whatever,
Yes.
babka, or I
Right.
don't know, whatever it was. She just
Right.
missed her.
Right. Right.
And she
Totally.
connected a lot to her bubby, I guess, having heart, like her bubby had polio as a baby and then was, you know, had a disability as a result of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like she connected much more to her Bubby as someone who had survived hardship.
Yes.
And as someone who had survived maybe people making assumptions about them that weren't true. Like things that she could, like that was the way that she related to and admired the Bubby. It wasn't really, and she was Jewish, but that was sort of like, it wasn't central
Totally.
in her mind.
I would say the part in the book where her Judaism, where she's missing it, is she wakes up and realizes it's Rosh Hashanah.
Yes.
And like, she goes along with her day, but feels that she needs to have apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah and like get some.
Right. And that was nice because it wasn't, there was some guilt, but it didn't feel like that was entirely driven by guilt.
Right. Right. I mean, it's like she was in pain, like the strange relationship with her mom, which was painful for her.
Yes.
But she wasn't guilty about who, I'm as happy about that. Like I don't think there was guilt about who she was, or there wasn't guilt. She was just, she couldn't be herself. There was resentment towards her mom, but not guilt for her own identity, her own choices, her own lifestyle. By the way, including the stripping. Like the book totally did humanize strippers and stripping, which in the one experience that I had at a strip club,
yes,
was for my friend's bachelorette party. And it made it very unfun for her because she just wanted to have fun at the strip club. But I was like talking to all of the girls. Like they all were like in school. Like we were like having like full conversations about like what different degrees they were getting. And it was so unsexy. And because like that's like I was like much more comfortable just like sitting and schmoozing.
Of course.
Than like, any of the dancing. And I was not the right person to go to, the strip club.
It's really funny.
Yeah,
I do think she had some shame about the sex work part of it.
Yeah. Well, I think because like she felt that, I think Chris, her name was it Chris?
Yes.
Was like sad. And like, I think it was because of Chris more than anything. Like she ends up like having side work with this girl, Chris, who was going to the strip club. But like Chris was just like really sad and grieving the loss of a parent and much older than Hannah. Hannah was 18.
Chris was like 40.
Chris was like, like around, she's like almost 40.
Yes.
And like
seemed very alone.
Yeah.
Very
and
depressed.
also like definitely had a substance abuse problem.
Oh, for sure.
So like, and she was giving her a lot of money for spending nights together.
Right.
And so she was making a lot of money, but, and also generally felt safe, I think, except there was one time that she didn't.
Right.
Which Chris apologizes for and all this stuff. Cause like there was some drug use involved.
Right.
Consensual drug use. I mean, like,
yeah. I think overall everything was basically consent. I mean, it's such a, I don't know, it's a strange dynamic, obviously, but I think it was consensual. It was more just like, she just didn't feel comfortable with it. She didn't know how to feel. She didn't know if she was being taken advantage of or doing the taking advantage of.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of gray.
Yes. And I think she didn't really, like, I think Sam had also kind of goaded her into the whole thing. I think she was much more hesitant, and Sam was like, what? You can make $1,000 for us in one night. You have to do it. Right. And I think that kind of pressure, she felt a little pressured, I think.
Right.
Not by Chris, by Sam.
Right. But then also, she also felt like, I'm never going back to the strip club.
Right.
So it was like freeing for her in that way.
Right.
She didn't work at the strip club again.
Right. But I think she also felt like, she didn't know, was she supposed to be enjoying it? Was she not? But I don't know. It wasn't comfortable.
It wasn't comfortable, but I think it was so much about it was because Chris was like depressing and sad.
Right.
That was dark. Like seeing Chris's substance abuse problem and
But isn't that kind of part of what sex work is? Like you can't pick. You're not picking someone based on.
I think you can pick.
You can pick, but I'm imagining like you're not like, if you're searching for sort of like the ideally mentally well, high functioning person, like
they might not be looking for an escort.
They might be looking for an escort, and also you might be looking for a long time. Like if you want a business, I'm saying if it's work and you want a business, you might not be so choosy.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know
You
either.
might be. There's probably a lot of TikToks about this.
Well, listen.
But I've been TikTok free for years now.
Right. Well, maybe there's some Instagrams.
There might be, but the I don't know. Again, I do think it's okay for us to review communities that we are not a part of, but this is definitely one of them.
I think this gave a really, you know, like I believed this portrayal of a
for
very
sure.
young person who was like trying to do this thing because there were obvious advantages, but was really like in over her head in terms of just like the emotional complexity and even like moral complexity of what she was doing.
Right. In the end, I really don't want to give a lot away about one particular thing, but there's a hospice worker
Yes.
who's a witchy, like amazing hospice worker
Yes.
who she really connects to and connects with.
Yes.
And I think is inspired by. And in the end, there's like a kind of an eye towards like things are going in a different direction for her.
Right.
Like she kind of always wanted to go to school. She sees that she could be really good at this thing.
Yes.
And
she's
there's
going to
this-
take a more traditional career path, perhaps.
Yes. There's, like an eye towards like she's going to maybe, more
This was like a phase that she needed, but she's going to move on from it.
Right. Yes. Yes. That is what it seems like. And based on it being somewhat autobiographical, it seems like that's what happened because she wrote a damn good book.
Totally.
So she is a very good writer. And but it read, so I do feel like sometimes I read these novels that like sort of read like memoirs because they are autobiographical.
Right. And there's so much in here that's so specific
Right.
that it feels like there would have to be. I mean, she says there's an element,
She says it, but then she's also like, this is very much a novel and a work of fiction. So I'm just
Right.
curious about that because
what parts are true and what aren't.
Yeah. I'm just curious about that. But that's the same in memoirs too, by the way. Like I think like part of the issue with memoirs is that people are like, that didn't really happen.
Right.
Like Footsteps authors get in trouble for that.
What's Footsteps?
Footsteps, like the Off the Derech, like
that organization. Yeah.
like all those books, like all those OTD,
Yeah.
those
All
memoirs,
of those do not
all those,
return. Yeah.
all those books, like because people were like, I was there, that didn't happen. Because it's like a small enough community that people read the books and they're like,
Sure.
you embellish. So it's like, this is the opposite. This is saying it's a novel, not a memoir. It was great. It was a great read. We didn't, we didn't share it all because I do think a lot of you will read it.
Yeah, I think you should. And it wasn't really I mean, the plot is good, but it's also not, to me, it wasn't so plot driven. It was more about her journey. It's like kind of a coming of age story.
Yeah, it is.
Which
Yeah,
I don't know. I've been feeling lately, like in general with books, that I'm kind of over coming of age stories. Like,
My
don't
mom
know.
has no patience for coming of age.
I know your mom told me this years ago already. She's like, I've come of age. I don't need to hear about people's coming of age, which I get. Like, I do. I mean, I relate much more. Like, what was that really long book by America or something? Do you know-
Americana?
No. Jonathan Franzen wrote Freedom.
Oh, Freedom. I loved Freedom.
Yeah, it was great. It was extremely long.
Yeah.
But that was like, for me, I read that a few years ago, and that was the first book where I was like, oh, like I so much more am enjoying the parts that are about the 40-year-old mom
The
than
parents,
about the
yeah,
like
like the
17.
suburban-
Like I
yeah.
want to read about the suburban parents. I don't
Yes.
really care about the like stupid 17-year-old
Yes.
kids. Like I don't care. I want
That happens to me in books for sure, or in anything, books, TV shows. It happens to me a lot where I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I
This
get
is
it.
who
Like,
I'm relating
we
to
talked
now.
about this before, but it's like when it's like we're the Patty, not the Angela now.
Totally, exactly. So I'm totally the Patty, but this was an exception for me. Like I really liked her, and I didn't find a lot of times I find these characters annoying because they're immature. Because if they
No.
are immature, but like
Yes.
there was something about her that I really, I guess because she was having experiences maybe that I that didn't seem like sort of banal teenage experiences. They were very actually, because her situation was so sort of extreme, it actually seemed like she was really having much more adult experiences.
Right. No, I agree. No, and I completely agree with you. But it's funny that we just mentioned the Patty, not the Angela, because she does have an Angela in episode 1 of My So-Called Life moment right before she
Oh,
starts working at Shea
yes.
Perry, the strip club,
Yes,
because
yes, yes.
Sam dyes her hair with like Clairol Nice and Easy
Yes.
to make it Scarlet, and her stripper name is Scarlet.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, an Angela Chase moment in this book
Totally.
in the
And
90s.
there was another great hair moment where before she left home, she like cut her own hair in the shed or something,
Yeah.
and it's all like choppy and whatever. And like I think her mom freaks out about it because I
Yes.
guess it looks like masculine or whatever.
Right.
She
Also,
says,
Patty.
right,
Oh, but Patty's haircut was the haircut. Yeah.
but her sister says it looks like Winona Ryder from Reality Bites, which is like my ultimate hair icon to me.
Yes,
Like I
yes.
love that hair. So
Yes.
I was just this hit all the 90s hair
Yes, it definitely.
touchstones for me.
Yes. But yeah, she really, with the box of dye, she was really Angela chasing it.
Loved
The
it.
color, too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, she
Might
had
be
that
that time
box
of
of hair
year
dye
for
and like poof, you're a stripper.
Yeah, exactly. But it might be that time of year for me for a My So-Called Life rewatch.
Oh, amazing.
The best. So yeah, this was great.
Really great. Thank you.
So much Yiddish that we didn't get into.
That's true. There was a lot of Yiddish. It was well pronounced. I thought that the narrator did their
I
research.
wasn't sure because first I read it. What's the word where like someone's not from? Is it fry?
Fry, yeah.
That means not from?
It means free,
Oh, free,
literally.
free,
But
free.
yes, it does. People, they use it as to mean not from.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's she and Shefala.
Shefala, yeah.
She was saying Shefala a lot to her.
Yeah. She like little, yeah. Well, I don't
No
know.
one's
It's
ever
like some kind of term of endearment. I don't know what
like
it means
Kachkalas,
literally.
like little duck, but
yeah.
Shefala's.
Yeah, or
Kachkala is what my father-in-law calls the kids. But
That's cute.
Shefala, let's see what Shefala is. Oh no,
probably means like pretty or something.
but that's Shayna, right?
Shayna, right?
Endearment, meaning little lamb. There you go.
Oh,
Little lamb. Kachkala's little duck. Shefala's little lamb.
so cute.
You know, when my kids come back from my in-laws, they're like Binala, like Jonah's calling
Yeah,
Vinny,
yeah.
Binala, Kachkala.
Really cute.
Yeah, Shefala, little lamb, or sweetie, often used for children or romantic partners. It functions similar to darling or honey. Yeah, Shefala. Come
Great.
here, Shefala. Really sweet. Her puppy was the best. Best character.
She was
Okay.
great.
I don't even know how to tell you about the next book we're reading.
Okay. Why?
Because I don't think that based on the description, it will seem that there's anything at all related to anything that could be relevant to our podcast.
Okay.
But I read this book and I think we should read it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to read the description and say, trust me on this one.
I will.
Okay. A house is a precarious thing. It is 1961 and the rural Dutch province of Overijssel is quiet. Bomb craters have been filled, buildings reconstructed, and the war is truly over. Living alone in her late mother's country home, Isabel knows her life is as it should be, led by routine and discipline. But all is upended when her brother Louis brings his graceless new girlfriend Eva, leaving her at Isabel's doorstep as a guest to stay for the season. Eva is Isabel's antithesis. She sleeps late, walks loudly through the house, and touches things she shouldn't. In response, Isabel develops a fury-fueled obsession, and when things start disappearing around the house, a spoon, a knife, a bowl, Isabel's suspicion begins to spiral. In the sweltering peak of summer, Isabel's paranoia gives way to infatuation, leading to a discovery that unravels all Isabel has ever known. The war might not be well and truly over at all, and neither Eva nor the house in which they live are what they seem. Mysterious, sophisticated, sensual, and infused with intrigue, atmosphere, and sex, The Safekeep is a brave and thrilling debut about facing up to the truth of history and to one's own desires.
Whoa. Okay, that sounds very good.
This book is incredible.
Okay, I'm excited.
It's called The Safekeep.
The Safekeep. I can't wait.
It's by
Sounds
Yael
great.
van der Wooden.
Wonderful. Yael van der Wooden. Wow.
It is so good.
Okay. I'm
and
sold.
I cannot wait for you to read it.
I'm assuming the Jewish angle will reveal itself, and I look forward to that.
Thank you for making that assumption, and I can't wait to talk to you about it.
Great.
Listeners, if you read along or don't read along, now is the time more than ever because this book was so good.
This book was so good. It was fun, but like
By the way-
it was like highbrow fun.
Absolutely to girls, but I meant the safekeep.
Oh, well, I
But yes,
can't say.
absolutely. I
this
stand
was
by that with girls too.
Girls was highbrow
It's
fun
one of the
to
better
me.
books we've read. It's a very, very good book.
Absolutely.
Check out The Safekeep. I'm rereading, obviously.
Great.
It's been enough time that I have to reread. Can't wait. Have a meaningful Yom Kippur.
Thank you. I'll report back. Hopefully this headache will go away before my Yom Kippur headache begins. That would be nice.
You ever take one of those like slow release caffeine pill situations?
No, but I was actually just reading someone's Instagram about that and contemplating it. Have you?
Yeah, I never have. No. Curious.
Yeah.
Seems like I would just be up all night. Like it wouldn't work.
Oh, right. That could be. You ever see people getting those like IVs beforehand?
I've heard of this and also suppositories with up the tushy, but I don't know about it. I don't know the details. I just don't know the details. I just fast.
One year, a Chabad girl was like to me, if you really need it, there's some caffeine suppositories in the fridge.
And you're allowed to do that on the holiday?
Yeah, it's not eating.
Wow.
I didn't partake.
Wow.
It felt extreme.
Also, like, you're in shul.
Right, the logistics are, you have to think it through.
I mean, yeah, I'm just, I fast and, feel like crap.
Whatever. Right, exactly.
And then it's over.
Right.
Is it like, is the timing better than usual? Like, it feels like does it end very early this year? It feels that way to me.
I think it's on the later side, so it ends, it's later into the year, so I guess it does end a little earlier than it has in the past. It's than some of the years, yeah. Yeah, 7:15 is good.
Seems fine.
Totally.
Okay, can't wait to talk about the next book. And
Me too.
Thanks for a great episode. Okay, if you're new here, follow us on Instagram, like us, leave us a review, share the podcast. And this podcast is produced by William Levin, and it is brought to you by Newest Traditions and Hanukkah Pong. Hanukkah Pong is a menorah-shaped beer pong game, perfect for Hanukkah coming up, and available at newesttraditions.com. Our listeners get 20% off with promo code Hanukkah Erotica, HANUKKAHEROTICA.
Yes.
Good night.
Night.